And there's some other stuff that's been going on in this area that's not been reported in the news times that I just want to touch on real quickly. So before I talk about it, I have to give you some background information. This pertains to the city's charter and a possible violation of state statute. But before that, before I get into this, we'll have to go back to some video. So if the people in the back room are ready, I want to show you some footage from the charter revision meeting when the city clerk presented her case towards the charter pertaining to some of her job responsibilities. And in this video clip right here, you're going to see the city clerk talk about publishing of public notices in the newspapers. So without further ado, can we just run to that video clip?
Changing the requirement for the publishing of ordinances. People, we really have to do something. I just went down and I checked with Chick, and just between my office and the Planning Commission, Planning Department, I have spent within the 2 years $26,000. They have spent $56,000. That's not to say about what the town clerk spends, what the legal. This is absolutely ludicrous to be publishing these ordinances in our newspaper. The only people that are benefiting is the News Times. And on top of that, we have to deal with their arrogance. I am trying to get these down to be as cost-effective as possible, and no matter what I do to shorten them up, they will turn around and say they're not readable, and they put them in, obviously, because it benefits the News Times to make them as large as possible, with the most space as possible, and we are at their mercy. We need to change this. I don't care how you structure it, whether we put a notice under the legal department, under the legal notices, that these ordinances are on file with the city clerk, on file with the town clerk, on file in the website, on file with the library, on file with anybody you want to make. But we've got to take them out of the hands of being published in the News Times. We are spending way too much money. And I'm going to tell you, the average person does not read them. Yes, sir.
Is that something that is a state statute, Rick? That it must appear?
So, but I would have to check to confirm it.
Thank you.
I believe publication with respect to public hearings and ordinances is...
I have it here. And all I'm saying is there...
What section?
Pardon?
What section of the charter?
You're going to ask me that now, right? Hold on.
No, we'll dig it out.
We'll look at it later. And I did look at it. And it is, you know what? There's always a way around something. You guys are really smart. You're a lawyer. You're a lawyer.
All right there, so that was some video footage of the city clerk addressing the Charter Revision Commission in regards to the publication of public notices and the amount of money which she feels is outrageous in terms of how much money we are spending to put notices in the newspapers. I bring that up for a reason, and let me just show you this right here. On May 3rd, 2009, we have this right here, okay? This is the charter for the city of Danbury that was published in its entirety in the newspaper. Actually, this is proposed changes to the city's charter that will be voted upon later on this year. Now, the reason why this was published was because this was actually this actually needed to be done. According to state statute, it says here, I'm going to read you a state statute, section 7-191, subsection D, pertaining to the changes to the charter. After the charter changes are approved by the Common Council, it says, not later than 30 days after approval of the appointing authority for the certification of such a petition. In other words, after no later than 30 days after the Common Council approves the proposed changes to the charter shall be published in at least one newspaper having the general circulation of the municipality. In other words, you have 30 days after the charter, the Common Council votes on a charter to publish this in the newspaper, okay? Or you can publish the portions of the charter that should be amended, and you can put that in the newspaper. So in other words, you can either put the entire charter in the newspaper with the proposed changes, or you can just put the changes that are going to be done to the charter in there. And I bring that up because the Common Council approved this charter on March 10th, 2009. This charter that's in the newspaper right here was done on May 3rd, 2009. So in other words, this is way beyond the 30 days that was required under state statute to get this published. And also, let me just show you this one more time. If we can hold this up real quick. All right, this is the entire charter. This did not need to be done. This cost basically almost about $5,000 to have done. And we didn't need this whole thing in the paper. In fact, all we needed in the paper was just the proposed changes to the charter, which would have taken up probably about a quarter or a half of a page, which would have been considerably less money spent by the city for the newspaper. So in other words, you know, one, we violated the state statute by over 30 days, and number two, we have a publication of this entire charter that was unneeded, and this was done by the same individual that you saw in the video clip complaining about publishing notices in the newspaper. So it's just more food for thought. We talked about the city clerk on this show a few times in the past, and this is just more food for thought when you come to making a vote in November.